Okay, because what I'm going to go over is going to be, I have to move along, but if you have questions, definitely ask them, but a lot of it, probably by the end you're going to be like, okay, this is too much, but it's a story. I've written it as a story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and if I cut the story in half in the middle, it wouldn't have the right ending. So expect that it might become too much information all at once, but that's the beauty of a recording, and then you can later. We are going to talk today about having an essential oil lifestyle. And my name is Susan Keiffer. I am a master herbalist and iridologist. And doesn't this field look awesome? Beautiful. It's vibrant, right? Yes. And that's what we're going to talk about, how to get vibrancy in your life. So I'm starting this off with a video. It's a very short video. I think it's less than 2 minutes. And I'm recording this so that anybody can do this at home. You can show friends, you can meet with them and show this, like let's watch this together, so you don't have to worry about presenting all this information yourself, because we are going to get into a lot of details.
Have you seen what's happening in the world right now? A revolution has begun. It's not a revolution of political power, but of personal power. Unsatisfied with their options, hundreds of thousands of people are reclaiming their power over their health, their purpose, their lives. No longer content to be given the same job to do, the same prescriptions to take, the same cycles of meaningless routine. They are waking up to greater freedom and claiming hope and healing, growth and purpose. This revolution requires a new kind of leader. Not the authoritarian leaders from the past, but torchbearers, illuminating the path, uniting those who follow, and inspiring all in reclaiming their power. Who are these torchbearers? Who will step up and choose in, claiming the privilege and stewardship of leading others on this journey? They are visionaries. They are healers. They are ordinary people desiring to live an extraordinary life. If this resonates, ask yourself this question: is this you? Have you felt the call to be a part of something bigger than yourself? Are you ready to be part of a movement that fuels your own mission? You have what it takes to lead others across the globe to find natural solutions. We have what it takes to empower you. With your leadership potential and our world-class training, your future is limitless. The time is now. The place is here. Your torch is ready. Take your first step by answering the questions below and join us in leading others to hope and healing in the Natural Solutions Revolution.
Okay, so that was a video, as I said, that I think brings this message home to you. If you feel the call to be part of something bigger, a revolution is what they're calling it, a natural solutions revolution, and we're going to talk about why as we go through this. So just to start with the basics, what is an essential oil? Essential oil is the blood of the plant, a lot of people call it, even though I tend to say the juice of the plant is the blood of the plant. The reason they use the word essential is because it's actually the essence of the plant, or the life force, the spiritual essence of the plant. It is the plant's immune system. Whatever the plant gets attacked with, bacteria, viruses, pathogens, it protects the plant. That's what the essential oils in the plant do, and they'll do that for you. When you take the essential oil, those are the properties that will help you protect you against those same types of bacteria, viruses, pathogens. We are very similar to plants. We are identical up to the 32nd DNA strand. One of the major differences is they have chlorophyll and we have hemoglobin. But other than that, they can do things we can't by taking the sunlight and turning it into food. We need the plant to eat the plant to get those same properties, and the same thing with the immune system of the plant. So, when you're wondering, how does that work? How does an essential oil work for me to help with different issues? It's the same way it works for the plant. So when you make essential oils, you can make them from all the different parts of the plant. There's different properties depending on if you're using the seeds, the bark, the stems, the roots, the flowers. Every part has a different therapeutic benefit. So it's important when you are selecting an essential oil, even though one company might say lavender, and there might be lavenders all over the place, but they're all different based on which part of the plant, what time of year did they take it, how did they harvest it. They look for specific markings to give the benefit they're trying to extract out of that oil. So even though other companies have a lavender, none of them are going to be the same as what Doterra has. Not any of them. Theirs are specific to their company. Essential oils have been used for thousands of years. This is nothing new. What is new is that we're returning to using essential oils, but they have been used for thousands of years. The Egyptians are famous for using them. Cleopatra was one of the first, what do they call her? A woman, a spa. She had her first spa making the essential oils. She actually used essential oils on the sails of her ships to let her enemies know she was coming, and her friends, I guess. They would smell the essential oils on the sails of her ships. So you have to be pretty wealthy to have enough essential oils to be able to smell them from far away on the sails of your ship. But she was known for the skin, using essential oils for skin, and we're going to talk about that. And here's some more history. So starting 4500 BC is about as far back as they've seen evidence of essential oils being used. The Romans used them. The Chinese used them. They were found in King Tut's tomb, and a lot of times people who raided King Tut's tomb were more interested in taking the essential oils instead of the gold even. It was more valuable because there is a process to making essential oil extractions, either distilling it or cold pressing it. But if you don't know how to do that, you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know how to keep it pure, it's rarer than gold. So for medicine, that's what they were using it for different emotional properties, different reasons. They felt that the essential oils were more valuable than the gold. And of course, the Bible contains over 1,000 references. Jesus was given frankincense and myrrh as a baby. They constantly use the anointing oils all the time on their heads and their feet. And there is an anointing oil recipe, and that's another class. But we will definitely go into that class as well. And there's about 5 or 6 oils in that recipe. The one they used in the Bible for a specific reason. They were receiving a certain spiritual anointing benefit. So here's just more evidence and pictures on papyrus showing her bringing some essential oils. And this I'm not going to go too much into detail on. That's the beauty of a recording, is you'll be able to go back and look at this. But just to give you a little synopsis, basically originally man only had plants to use for medicine. That's how it started. And then it goes into the Egyptians, the Chinese, Hippocrates, the frankincense and myrrh given to the Christ child. Then we started getting into where essential oils in 1910 were discovered that lavender had properties to actually heal burned skin. The person who was extracting the lavender essential oil had received a large burn on their arm, and all they had in their vicinity was to dunk their whole arm into the vat of lavender oil, and it healed up with no scars and no burning. And that's when they first noticed, wow, these actually have stronger properties than just their smells. So then they start talking about the epidemics and the germ theory and how that became an issue, and the side effects became more well known according to this in 2013. In 2008 is when Doterra themselves came up with the quality of the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade Standard, which is the CPTG. That began in 2008. And then as of 2014, over 1 million homes had already begun using Doterra. Now they are the #1 essential oil company in the world, worldwide, and we'll talk more about that. So the physiology of essential oils and how they do work with the human body is that they can stimulate change in specific function in the body. And I have another YouTube I did on that. It's called Essential Emotions, where I really go into how the cells have receptor sites and the essential oils are capable of binding to those receptor sites and replacing negative emotions or negative drug artifacts that are left binding to the cell. They can actually, they have the same shape to kick that thing out that's like a puzzle piece. And so that's it. Emotions are physical. They've proven emotions are physical molecules in the body. You can clean them out. You can clean the negative ones out. And this is how essential oils help with your emotions. In addition to, you know, of course, the smell going right into that area of the brain. But physically, that's how that works. And that's a whole nother YouTube. As I said, it's called Essential Emotions. If you want, we can get more into that. But there are no tissue barriers to essential oils within the body. And that's another thing, that drugs and pharmaceuticals cannot enter the cell wall. Essential oils can actually cross the cell membrane and get into the blood-brain barrier. So that's why they work differently than pharmaceuticals in one way. They are actually 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs, you know, than a dry herb drinking a tea. Tinctures are stronger than teas, of course, but essential oils are the top of the line in potency because the extraction method, distilling drop by drop of the oil coming out of the leaf or the flower or whatever part they're trying to get it out of, takes a lot more raw material, raw plant material than just, like for instance, I think they said it takes 1 million rose petals to get 1 ounce of rose oil. 1 million rose petals. So versus if you were making a tea out of rose petals, you know, you'd use like a tablespoon of rose petals. So that's the difference in potency. And this is an illustration of how the essential oils can go through the cell wall membrane, and that's why they can be effective on viruses where they have no pharmaceuticals that can do that through the cell membrane. That's why they say we have nothing we can give you if you have a cold or a flu or whatever, a virus. Essential oils are actually recognized by the body as being similar, as I was mentioning with our similarity in DNA with the plants. So just as an example, cinnamon bark oil has been said to be 99.9% effective against all viruses, including Ebola virus, which they say cannot survive in the presence of pure unadulterated cinnamon. So that's another thing we're going to talk about, is the differences in essential oils compared to other companies, and that will be coming up. So how it would affect you, it can be antibacterial, antiviral, anti-cancerous even, antifungal, anti-infectious, antimicrobial, anti-tumoral, meaning it helps destroy tumors, antiparasitic, antiseptic. And a lot of that has to do with being able to cross that cell membrane. That's a very big deal. So I believe in plant power. I'm a master herbalist. I've been using plants for 20 years at a high medicinal therapeutic level, but not essential oils. I just began using in this way really just in the past year. The doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but will rather cure and prevent disease with nutrition. This was a quote from Thomas Edison, the man himself. Amen, right? So first things first. Okay, so you're like, all right, I get all that. I'm willing to try essential oils. but which oil is the right oil? What do you look for? So as I was mentioning, there is a standard now called CPTG, which stands for Certified Therapeutic Grade Oil, tested in the most rigorous way of any oil in the world. And this is what this is why doTERRA was created, and what they want to be most known for is that nobody can touch their standard of testing. It's done by a third party. There's 4 different phases that they test at, and 7 different kinds of testing that's done, versus a typical company. You know, most people were satisfied that they had 2 tests and they were done in-house, which we'll talk about that. But if your oil says for external use only, these are not therapeutic grade, because if they were, they would not say you can't use them internally, which that means using them on the skin, diffusing them in the air, and a lot of them even have a poison control warning on them. But I do have other brands here. So this is Desert Essence. I have Acacia. I have Suns, S-U-N-S, Sun's Eye. And I have Young Living. I have doTERRA. I have Now. And I have Nature's Alchemy.
Those are all different brands?
Yeah, these are all different brands. And what we can do now, actually, is let's pass around, while I'm talking, I want you to smell the difference between the doTERRA Lemon and this is Young Living Lemon. Okay, so you'll smell the doTERRA Lemon first. And I'm going to keep talking while you're doing this. So smell the doTERRA Lemon first, and then smell the Young Living. And you can tell me what you think of the difference. Okay? We'll just pass those around. And then we'll do the same with the Citrus Fresh blend from Young Living and the Citrus Bliss from doTERRA.
That's my favorite.
So I'm going to put these here. So this is Citrus Bliss from doTERRA, and this is basically the equivalent from Young Living, Citrus Fresh.
You can just smell it. Just like the other one.
Which one?
doTERRA.
Yeah.
The other one's very...
Yeah, there's a big difference in smell.
Big difference, right?
Yeah, huge.
Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to go with those 2 for now. I would have shown you the orange. What I most noticed was this. I don't want to, you haven't smelled them yet, so I'm not going to tell you that. I'll wait till you. But purity, potency, consistency, and targeted benefits all have to do with the therapeutic benefit you're going to receive. So the FDA says that only either 5 or even 10% of the pure essential oil has to be present in the bottle to label the entire thing as 100% pure. It's only a law that either 5 or 10% actually has to be in there. The rest can legally be synthetics or fillers or chemicals, and do not even have to be 100% pure to be listed as 100% pure. And we have these other brands here, so if you wanted to, look at anything, here's one, Acacia, 100% pure essential oils, it says on it.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. 5%?
That doesn't make sense to say it's 100%.
Yeah, so, say that louder.
The Young's one smells nasty.
It does, it's disgusting.
And the lemon one doesn't even smell like lemon.
Yeah, so what I noticed is there was kind of a theme for me with the Young Living, which I had. I was definitely a member. Young Living used to be the superstar and the only one that people trusted.
Yep.
I just thought they all smelled great until I compared them to doTERRA. And then my niece was actually the one who pointed it out, that they all smelled sour. And then I was like, you're right. Now,
Horrid.
Yeah.
all right, so that's I'm comparing it to Young Living, which is a lot of people feel the equivalent of doTERRA, but we just proved it is not.
I read about that, yes.
Okay, all right, so let's continue. So here's the example. There are different grades of essential oils. Starting at the bottom, floral waters are considered low quality, synthetic, or nature identical. Then there's the perfume grade, which has extended or altered oils, contains chemicals and solvents. That's perfumes that people wear. Then grade B is a natural food grade, meaning I guess you can eat it, but it can still have chemicals in it. Then in the days of just Young Living, there was considered this therapeutic grade at the top, grade A, which they said was pure and unadulterated. And as I said, this is using Young Living as an example. I also saw another brand the other day that also said therapeutic grade, which was Spa Room, that Bed Bath & Beyond is selling, and it says therapeutic grade on their bottle. So doTERRA, if you look at this pie chart now, you have the synthetic grade of most essential oils in the gray. Food grade is the green. Therapeutic grade, like Young Living, is the purple. And then doTERRA is the thinnest slice, which is the certified pure therapeutic grade. But again, they are the #1 selling essential oil now in the world. So this tells a little story about how the founders of doTERRA felt there needed to be a new standard in essential oil excellence. And they actually came from Young Living, and I'm just going to put that out there because a lot of people don't mention this, but everybody has the question, and including myself. That was, I've been asking that for years. Everybody's kind of hush-hush about it, but what happened was the scientists from Young Living, who had a lot to do with knowing what was going in those oil blends, felt that they weren't as high a quality as they wanted them to be. So after a number of years of squabbling and trying to raise the standard, they finally just said, you know what, we're just going to start our own company and we'll have full control over the standard, and we're going to prove to everybody how rigorously we're testing this, because that's why they left. So that's where this certified pure therapeutic grade oil standard came from. And here's all their different ways of testing the oils. And I know this is in tiny writing, but if you looked at each one of these, there's 7 different tests that are performed, starting when the raw plant materials are harvested, then again when they're shipped, when they're actually shipped after the distillation, then again when the oils are bottled and labeled. They're all given a number for that lot. So if you ever had a question, they keep that lot number so they can compare if somebody said, this smells really off. But they test them again for that reason at that point, and then finally when they're released for sale. 4 different times with a third-party tester with 7 different tests. There is no other company who does that. And even if they did, they might be looking for different therapeutic benefits than doTERRA wants in their oil. And that all depends on what part of the plant you're using, what time of the year you're harvesting, are you letting the plant grow to full maturation, what were the climate conditions. Everything is a factor. So again, they have no fillers, no synthetic oils, no contaminants or toxins. So as far as are they organic, yes, they are. The right plant material selected, all those things I just mentioned, cooled at the right rate, carefully controlled extraction process. There's so much that goes into this compared to the days of King Tut. So doTERRA offers essential oils grown in the areas of the world where they're actually indigenously grown. They are not brought in and farmed on one location. They are grown in their natural environment by the native people that live there, who know how to properly grow and harvest the plants. And they've made exclusive contracts with these individuals, growers. And if they say this batch isn't good enough for us, they will reject a batch if it doesn't meet their standards. And that's when they're allowed to sell it to someone else who, they have no problem with that level of quality. So it's not that the batch will go unsold. It will be sold to somebody, but doTERRA has first choice. And if they don't want it and they reject it, then they're free to sell it to someone else. But they have done that, and they have rejected crops that did not meet their standards. So this is a quote from Dr. Mercola. Has anybody heard of Dr. Mercola? Yes, right? He's a very famous investigator, researcher, unbiased, He says quality is of the essence here. First of all, what we're talking about is pure therapeutic grade essential oils from plants, not synthetic fragrance oils or perfumes, which can be toxic and typically contain allergenic compounds. But even among essential oils, the quality can vary widely, and assessing the quality of any given brand can be difficult, as factors such as growing conditions, methods of harvesting, distillation, manufacture, and storage can all affect the final product. Price can be a tip-off. If it's really cheap, it's probably a reflection of poor quality. So Dr. Mercola recommends and uses Doterra essential oils. And as we said, he researches everything. This is the company he went with. Here's another guy, Dr. Josh Axe. Have you heard of Dr. Josh Axe? He puts out a lot of really informative videos too. He does a lot of thorough research and investigation. There is no way he would associate his name with an inferior product that he felt, someone else was better. He says the same thing: after researching oils, I decided to personally use and recommend Doterra oils. Doterra oils are sourced indigenously, meaning they are grown and sourced from areas of the world that are their natural habitat. Oils have different chemical markers which make them dependent on soil, weather conditions, and environment. Because there is no regulation on oils in the United States, one must be very careful to know the oil company and their specific policies. Doterra has third-party testing. That is a big, big deal to ensure the quality and purity of their oils. These are reasons why I chose Doterra essential oils. And this was a bottle that I saw in a pharmacy I was in the other day, and it was a clove oil behind the counter. And I said, what do you have that clove oil there for? And they said, well, some people use it for toothaches and, putting it in their mouth. We read the label. I had the girl read the label, and these warnings, as you saw, are so tiny I can't even read them with my glasses. I need a magnifying glass with my glasses, and I really don't have bad vision. I have a 1.25 plus glasses, right? But I can't even read these teeny weeny warnings. What it said was, do not put it in internal tissue areas, contact poison control center, and this is what they're using it for, in their mouth. And anyway, so regarding price, a lot of people are like, oh, well, maybe those oils are too expensive, I can't afford them. Here's a bottle that was selling for 1 ounce for $19.95, or they had a 30-ounce size for $32, compared to doTERRA's pure therapeutic grade clove oil, which sells a 15 milliliter, which is equivalent to basically the 30-ounce, was $14 wholesale. And if you don't have a wholesale account, it was $18.67 retail. And 1 drop of clove oil is just 6 cents if you're going to put it in your mouth and use it for a toothache. Where this doTERRA is an actual company you can literally do that with. This company, which the pharmacy was selling, so much for FDA regulation. All right, so how do you use essential oils? You can use them there's many recipes. Lots of people have come up with ways to cool themselves with peppermint and aloe, and in fact, I'm going to keep talking, but we'll take a moment to do this peppermint pick-me-up. Yeah.
Yay.
So, Linda, do you want to maybe be the one that goes around and does this? And I'm just going to get my own drop here because I've been waiting all day for this. But I said, just put 1 drop in the left palm of your hand.
The last class we did with Annie, I was super excited to do this for the class.
Okay. So hold on to that a minute. Don't drop it. We're going to do this together. So this is just 1 drop of peppermint oil, which 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So that's as far as potency. 28 cups of peppermint tea is the equivalent of 1 drop of peppermint oil. All right, so now what we're going to do is you're going to take your other hand, put your thumb in the center of your palm, and then get it on there, and then hold it on the roof of your mouth for like 6-8 seconds. So we'll do that now. Okay, now then rub your hands together with the rest of it, and when you're holding it there in the roof of your mouth, it's going up into your blood-brain barrier and right up there. Now carefully inhale with your hands cupped together. Some people are real sensitive, so be extra careful and take a slow but deep breath and try to hold it. It's strong, so be careful. But it's really cleansing, invigorating, stimulating, powerful. And do that, as long as you want. And then whatever is left, use it to put on the back of your neck. If you're working outside or you get hot flashes, this is a good way to use this. Put it on the back of your neck.
Excellent for a headache too.
Yeah.
Temples, forehead, back.
Yeah.
5 minutes,
And-
gone.
And I've had results with fever, putting it, like my son when he was a baby, putting it on the back of his neck. But if you put it on your forehead or around your eyes, just be careful. Some of the vapors might, feel like they're getting into your eyes. It will fade. It's not going to hurt you. And of course, don't touch your eyes after you have this on your hands. And then men, they say don't go to the bathroom. Careful. Yeah.
What happens?
Get a chill.
Yeah, in some places you don't want to get
Yeah. So there's bug repellents. You can make homemade, healthy ones. That's some of these recipes here in the diffuser. They have different holiday blends. Instead of using those candles that are actually synthetic fragrances that can damage your olfactory senses because you're repeatedly stimulating them with a chemical, it will damage your sense of smell. So you don't want to put those plugins into your walls or even in your car, the air fresheners. Those are really damaging. And you can actually make air fresheners with essential oils. You would use the homemade one is a clothespin, and then you would glue like a little piece of felt cloth or something, and you put the oil on the cloth, and when the air conditioner blows out of your vent, which your clothespin is attached to, it will just move that scent along on the air, with the little cloth in your car. So that's something I have yet to make, but it's real simple. That's one of the do-it-yourself recipes. There's lots of them.
Now I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Yep, little clothespins with cloths. So you can put it in your drinking water. It's important to use glass for this or a BPA-free plastic because it will start breaking down the chemicals. If it's an artificial plastic or especially styrofoam, it will actually eat right through the styrofoam, the essential oils. And that's what they do in your body. They take away the chemical, accumulative, little areas of toxins you have, and they clean you out. And that's basically all. They're just doing their job in those artificial synthetic containers. So be extra careful though that you only use, like I said, glass or BPA free. So you can also apply it directly to areas of concern like your adrenal glands. If you're stressed with adrenals, you can put basil oil is the one for adrenals, right on your adrenal glands, or if you're trying to detox your your liver, you can just put it right on that area of concern. Or you can, if they're a hot oil, which a couple of them are, like cinnamon or oregano, you would want to dilute it with a little fractionated coconut oil, which just means that they've taken the solids out of the coconut, and the fragrance is gone in the solid. So it's just a neutral light liquid that won't solidify and won't interfere with the fragrance of the oil. And that's what most people are now using to dilute essential oils with, is fractionated coconut oil. And also, when you add the fractionated coconut oil, it actually seals the essential oil. Even if it's not a hot oil, it kind of puts like a Band-Aid over it or a sealant over it that will stop it from evaporating and make it last much longer on your body. But you'd want to put the essential oil potentially first so that it goes deeper into the skin, and then put the coconut oil over that. If you do it the opposite way and you put the coconut oil on first, which again with the hot oils you might want to, then it doesn't exactly get absorbed, as easily, but it will still get absorbed. But that's the difference with putting it first or second. But on the bottom of your feet, pretty much anything goes because your feet are pretty tough, so you can put oregano directly there. Then you can also make homemade capsules. You just, separate them, pull them apart, put your drops in. There's all these kinds of recipes. If you don't like the taste, if you're trying to get an internal therapeutic effect, you would make them at the time and use them immediately because they will, break down that little capsule real quickly. So you of course use a good quality veggie cap which Doterra sells, the veggie caps. They sell the fractionated coconut oil as well. So you just make and use immediately with those. You don't store them at all. You can use a shot glass. They have like a digestive blend when people get heartburn and things like that. Instead of taking an antacid, you just put like a drop of this digestive blend in a shot glass and then just drink it like that. Even though I think it tastes good, it's like got fennel in it, ginger, some other ones, maybe cardamom is in there. I like the fennel taste. Some people don't, but that's another way you can just quickly do them, you know, in a shot glass, dilute them. You can diffuse them into the air, and again, you would not want to do this with external use only oils because you're getting those synthetic chemicals and they can actually just give you a headache instead of doing what you're trying to do. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I already have these oils, let me use them up. My mother tried to do that, and sorry, Mom. But I was like, this is giving me a headache. Let's just go right to the Doterra, you know. And she gave them away to someone else for a gift. But that's the risk with those. I mean, a lot of people don't want to throw their old oils out, but I use them to compare. That's a good use for your old oils. Use them to compare. And then, like we just did, inhale directly from your hands or the bottle. Like every night before I go to bed, I actually inhale that citrus bliss. That's my last thing before I go to bed, is I take a huge whiff of that, wherever that is. You guys have that? Oh, here it is. And I put this right under my, on my neck here, and then also on my wrist. When I go to bed, this is my last thing. This has vanilla in it and all the tangerine, wild orange. How she likes it.
Every single night before she goes to sleep, we put lavender on her feet and on her chest, and she's out.
Yeah, do you use lavender undiluted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you can, just to make it last longer though, add the coconut oil, unless, you know, you're good enough with that, but. They actually sell them in these, they're called Touch, Doterra Touch, and they're roll-on bottles, which I'll show you a picture of, where they're already pre-diluted with the coconut oil, and you can just, with lavender, like I use that, and my sister uses that on her children's feet. And they're actually like, Christmas Eve, they didn't want to go to bed, you know, so they were like, no, don't give us the lavender, because they knew it was just going to make them go right to sleep. But adding the coconut oil will make them last longer. And you can test that with peppermint, because you can really feel the cooling sensation of peppermint. So try it just with like a couple drops on an area like your stomach, let's say. Like not your hands, but somewhere more sensitive, without coconut oil, and time it on the clock, how long it lasts. And then add coconut oil over it for the second test and see how long you feel that peppermint. And it's a difference of hours.
Wow.
Because I did this when I had like I was cleaning the yard. It wasn't poison ivy, but it was like a plant like that. And I had a rash. So I was applying peppermint. I had to keep applying it until I put an oil over it. And then that lasted 3 or 4 hours. I was like, okay, now I've proven that this is why you would do that. You can also test peppermint by when you put it on the bottom of your feet, the advantage is your feet have the largest pores in the body, but also it will get absorbed in through all your cells, and you can test this with something like peppermint. You put like a couple drops on the bottom of your feet and count in seconds how long before you taste it in your mouth. It's like 3 seconds. That's how fast it goes through your body. So, you know, there's all kinds of little testing things you can do. And these are some newer bottles. A lot of people were using these with the holes, and what I'm showing here is a rubber, whatever, rubber encased glass bottle. Now they have these, and people are putting like fresh fruits and vegetables in them, and then adding their oil and just making a real beautiful. You can drink these. The water will be diffused with the fruits or vegetables as well as the oil, so they're just pretty. You know, you'll get a lot of comments, you'll get a lot of attention if you're trying to show someone what you're doing. You can also make these diffuser necklaces, and these are real simple, those little cages people use for their stones and things. These are little miniature wool balls that probably Michael's has, because right now Amazon seems to be out of them.
What are they?
They're wool balls, miniature wool balls. And like I have a diffuser necklace on here, it has a little pad in it, a felt pad, and I have jasmine on this, which lasts for like weeks. Jasmine is so potent and pure, but you know, they have different lengths of time they'll last, but in that, like, you can also use These are lava beads that you can make your own bracelets out of, or there's companies that sell them already made like this, and they will hold the oil scent for about 2 days. You can wear it on your wrist, so you can just keep smelling it, for that olfactory benefit right into your brain, into the limbic area, which is how it helps emotions on a moment-to-moment basis. Because your emotions change, like minute by minute a lot of times, and that's all it takes is just a whiff of the oil to change your whole mood in that moment when you're having your anxiety attack, your panic attack, feeling, rushed. In the car, I'm constantly saying, oh, I wish citrus bliss. I use that a lot. But in the beginning, I needed a lot of wild orange. For a good month, I could not stop smelling the wild orange for those reasons when I felt like I was rushing, anxious, trying to get somewhere on time. The wild orange did it for me. And after a month of that, I was able to switch to citrus bliss, which is a more mild smelling with the vanilla. And whatever it was, I needed the stronger wild orange scent, and I wish we had it. It's really potent. It's just it's a wonderful scent, and I'm sorry we don't have that to show you today. So here's a little cartoon. Same thing I was saying. Margie, I'm telling you, my mom has the secret weapon for dreaded nap time called lavender essential oil. Every time she puts it on the bottom of my feet, I fall right asleep. It's horrible. And so yeah, it's true. So want to know what makes the oils even more effective? The first things to make the oils more effective is start with cleaning out the environment on the inside, so you have a pure environment, so there's nothing interfering with all these absorption rates. Next, it is important to feed your body what it requires nutritionally. You can't just try to take such a pure, potent, essential oil and cure yourself or heal yourself without doing anything else, to correct the reasons why you have your conditions in the first place. So you still have to remove the cause, and then the oils will enhance the benefits of whatever you're already doing. So nutritionally at the cellular level is where you always want to start, and become aware of what foods you are eating and doing to cause the discomforts, and stop eating those foods. If you feel sick after you had a certain food, you're like gotta lay down, it takes you hours to digest it, gives you a headache, whatever, your energy level goes down instead of up after you just fed yourself something for nourishment, you feel worse, then just check that off your list. Okay, I'm not eating that again. Just stop repeating that cycle, which so many people do their entire lives. They never, so anyway, that's one way. And then, of course, as we age, our bodies require more help than just good food. The things you used to be able to get away with in your 20s, in your teens, in your 30s, is no longer good enough. We need assistance. We are beings that do die. Our bodies do decay and lose functions and become weaker until eventually, we do die. We're just not designed to live the way we are born. So we need assistance, and that's what these oils can do. So again, lifestyle is what prevents the disease in the first place. Doctors treat symptoms and fix broken body parts, and I'm sure nobody wants to take that job away from them. That's not what we're saying here. But it is the body itself that cures the disease and heals itself, as long as it has the tools and the nutrition to be able to do that. You can't expect your body to heal itself not giving it the tools it needs. So what works for me is there's actually a trio of supplements that Doterra has had their lead researchers come up with for all the needs the body could possibly want in one trio of supplements. And this is why this is their #1 selling product within this #1 worldwide essential oil company, which is called the Lifelong Vitality Trio. And I have experienced that without this foundation, and I'll talk about my experiences, but you would need, when I wasn't taking these, I found that I needed more applications of the same oils and using them more often to get the benefits, which I'm going to get specific as we go along, but that's how important having the cellular foundation is to begin with. You're just, trying to put out fires with something when you're not stopping the cause of the fire to begin with, if you're not taking specifically these supplements. And I'm going to talk a lot about why. So here's what they look like. This is their number one selling product in an essential oil company. It's not the essential oils that are their number one selling product. It is these supplements. And I have never, ever been a person who ever took supplements. I have always talked against taking supplements. I have never trusted supplements, and we'll go into the reasons why there, but I've always heard they were made from petrochemicals, things we can't absorb, and you're just kind of wasting your money. So I've never, until now, this was the only time I said, okay, well, everything else they're saying has been, proven correct. So fine, I'll go ahead and try their supplements. Let's just see what it is, what they do. Briefly, this is actually a brief slide of what each one individually does. They have one for omegas, the essential fatty acids that we need, and it includes 9 essential oils, which in comparison with any other company, you will not find an essential fatty acid supplement that also has 9 essential oils in it, including clove, which is the world's number one antioxidant, and I will show you a slide about that. And that's for brain health, cardiovascular, joint, immune system. Then they have one that has all the vitamins and minerals based from whole food sources. These are whole food sources on here with a patented enzyme delivery, because it's not just a matter of having the ingredients, but they have to also be able to be absorbed in your cells. So that's like a 2-part thing that you need to get the right nutrition, and as well as being absorbed in your body, where you would not need any of your other supplements at all. These 3 will replace any other thing you could possibly be buying. And then the third one is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. And inflammation is a big deal now. It's an epidemic with us. That's where a lot of disease is from, inflammation. People are on steroids. They have all their autoimmune diseases. These 3 products have, there's lots of testimonials on them, and we'll get more into that as I go along. So let me continue. So I know you can't possibly read this, but I just wanted to throw it up for when in the future you go to maybe look back on this and you want to see specifically. I do also have the bottles with me, but they've actually improved this. So this is their new 2016 improved formula that starting last month they were already selling this newer one. And some people say they can't handle the essential fatty acids because it makes them, fish sources, it's half fish and half land-based, might upset their stomach. So they have a tummy tamer blend that includes the peppermint, the ginger, the caraway seed extract for people who feel that maybe the fish oils are upsetting. If you don't want fish oils at all, they have a vegan one that is just land-based sources like flaxseed, pomegranate, things like that. So you have a choice. And they taste like cinnamon to me. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's how much they think you'll notice these. A lot of times you're taking supplements, you have no idea, are they doing anything or not? I don't know. They say they are. I've been taking them for years, whatever. These actually are, they're expecting you to notice a difference so much that they're willing to put a 30-day money-back guarantee on their product. But what I tell people is take it for 90 days. If you really want to do the test, do it for 90 days and then stop, and then see what all of a sudden you took for granted that returns immediately in a day or 2 when you stop.
Does each bottle have a 30-day supply?
Each bottle has a 30-day supply. You would take 2 capsules of each twice a day. So they are all natural, no fillers, no synthetics. If you have a wholesale account, all 3 bottles are $74.50. And I've had people come to me with their coolers full of all their supplements, or a garbage bag, or a tray at their house, and we've added them up. A lot of people are spending anywhere from $250 to $450 on all their individual, and to be honest, crap supplements. So anyway, this is only $74.50 with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That you are going to notice the difference. But again, if you really want to put yourself to the test, do it for 90 days, because a lot of times when pain is removed, you forget you ever had it. But when pain returns, then you remember. And after 90 days, believe me, you're thinking, oh, I'm cruising along and I don't have these problems anymore. You know, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. If you want to test this out, which I did, then just stop after 90 days and see what you notice immediately. That's for the 3.
And that's per jar?
$74.50 is for the 3-pack. It comes in a
That's all 3 jars, correct?
it comes in like this container, and then the 3 jars are, you know, in there, you know.
It's expensive.
Oh, it's super inexpensive, and the quality, they have nothing in there that is not at a therapeutic level. A lot of times companies list ingredients that are just barely even in there, and we're gonna get more into that. For instance, in 2015, last year, our Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, he felt that same way. You know, well, who's to say what's in these supplements that people are buying? So let's test them. He tested the 4 major retailers, GNC, Target, Walgreens, and Walmart, specifically for the practice of substituting contaminants and fillers in place of the authentic product. And this has a timeline of, you know, how he did that. What they found from the study they conducted in 2013, that they found contamination and substitution in most of the products they tested. Their study estimated that 60% of the products they tested contained plant species not even listed on the labels. Only 21% actually had some of the ingredients mentioned on the label. Only 21% even had things that they said were in there. 79% did not contain any of what the label stated it had. Almost 80% did not have anything it even said it had. Okay, those are the most, you know, GNC, everybody knows these. Everybody, you know, oh, I'll just get mine at Walmart, whatever. So Walmart actually had the poorest test results. Only 4% of the products they tested actually contained any of the ingredients listed on the label. 4%. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I'll just get mine at Walmart, I can get, you know, I can get this multivitamin for $4 or, you know, whatever. Okay, but there's not even anything in there that it says is in there. So this is about buyer beware, especially for consumers of herbal supplements. Nature's Way and Spring Valley were among those products tested. You see a lot of commercials for those. Yes?
Is those supplements, do you take them all at one time, or do you have to separate them like in different parts of the day?
Yeah, you take like 2 in the morning and 2 like at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Kind of like how people have that extra coffee at the later
Which
afternoon.
one? You actually take the 6.
So you're taking 4 of each a day.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
so 6 when you take all 3 times 2 twice a day. And my sister did an experiment, which she wasn't intending to do, but she saw that it said you take 4 a day, and so she was taking all 4 at once in the morning of each of them, and she was like, oh, now I see what everyone's talking about. And she just had so much energy, you know, abundant energy. And then my mother happened to mention to her, no, you're supposed to do two twice a day, you know, 2 separate times. So now actually what she found works for her is she takes 3 in the morning and 1 later in the afternoon. But most people take 2 in the morning and 2, like, you know, even if you take it at night. And I thought just recently I tried, I was like, well, you know, it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Maybe I don't even need the night dose one. So I didn't take the afternoon one. It's really an afternoon dose, not a night dose. But the next day, for the first 6 hours, I was dragging in energy just because I hadn't taken them the night before, because they are water soluble, a lot of them, and they're not intended to, you know, last and last. They're what your body needs each day. So when you don't take them even for one day, you will notice brain fog increases, if that was your issue. And even if you didn't think it was your issue, I have found that these make my thinking so much more clear, like a well-oiled machine that can work at a high level, for long periods of time. I mean, for me, the thing was not needing naps anymore. Okay, that was a big deal I had in my life because I do lack an immune system, and I constantly needed naps to recharge my energy. I don't drink coffee, and I never have, and I never will. So I would just take naps. That's what you're naturally supposed to do. If you're tired, lay down and rest until you get your energy levels back up. What I found with these, which I didn't notice right away, and that's why I say do the 90-day challenge, is that, after a month I was like, well, I guess I'm not really taking naps anymore, but I didn't know, is it because of these supplements or is it because of something else? Maybe I'm just getting better. I don't need naps anymore. The other thing I used to have a big problem with was recovery time. If I did yard work for, one day, I could do yard work for a whole day. I could, exercise, do anything, but then I would have a 3-day recovery time. And if I was going to do that, I would have to plan 3 days ahead of time. So I wouldn't be able to do anything for 3 days leading up to this massive amount of energy output. Then I would have to wait 3 days afterwards before I planned something else. And this is how it went for, 20 years. With these, I found, I realized I had just done like 3 days of extensive 8-hour-a-day yard work, and I still was not taking a nap, and I was fine. And so, again, I wasn't sure, is it really these supplements? But I ran out, and I was going to order them again, but I was going to be like 2 weeks later, so I said, oh, I'll be fine, I'll just wait 2 weeks, and I'll order them again. I never even thought I had brain fog. I mean, I knew that, I would get tired. I'm not saying I don't get tired, but I needed to take a nap, I needed to. But after this 2-week period where I didn't have them, after just 2 days, I'm sitting there trying to think, well, what am I noticing? I haven't taken them for 2 days. First thing I notice is I am sitting here, laying here, taking another nap. While I'm trying to think, what are they doing? I'm laying there taking a nap. After another day, a second time I did it. So at that first test, I actually had some. I went right back on them. That was my test. Well, let me stop and see what happens. 2 or 3 months later, after getting more used to them, that's the time I ran out. And I didn't have them to restart. And I took the deepest, most disorienting nap for like 2 hours. I had to get my son. I couldn't remember what day it was, what time it was. Did I miss picking him up? One of those naps where I could not get myself up. And I didn't even think, oh, it's because I'm not taking the supplements, until that night I went to some training thing. And I was like, that's what it is. It's the supplements. And every day I felt like Cinderella turning back into the pumpkin. It started getting worse and worse with brain fog, where I always had the concentration, but I felt the fatigue in the head area, and some of you might, if you're not on them yet, might be feeling through this presentation, wow, this is too much information as we go along. But just know that kind of clarity can be cleared up, and you can regain that level of energy in the brain and in the, basically it was the immune system, I guess, not needing recovery and naps. And I still haven't. When I'm on these, I don't need that. As soon as I'm off in 1 or 2 days, I'm back to that whole thing again. So just to go along with this, though, I want to say that each sample was tested 5 times, and they actually did 398 tests involving 78 samples. So this was no small casual test. They thoroughly investigated this. What Eric says is that his group and his partners have tried for years to increase awareness that intentional product adulteration needs to be addressed. He calls it the #1 problem in the herbal industry, not just in the United States, but also internationally. There is no regulation, which is why Doterra wants to prove to you, I know there's no regulation, but here is our proof. We do this rigorous testing that no one else is willing to do. So Eric said, we feel that our actions have helped consumers significantly and pushed the issue of supplement fraud to the table for discussion and action. And I'm thrilled that he did this because it does prove, you can't just get this thing anywhere and without knowing, what's really in there. So something else we're going to talk about with the antioxidants comes up a lot. They have a way of measuring an antioxidant's performance level. Like, you hear about antioxidants all the time. How do you know the difference between which is better, which is stronger, which is more powerful? They give it a value called an ORAC value or an S-ORAC value. So nobody seems to know what that is, or a lot of people haven't heard of it. What it is it stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity, which again is just a big mouthful of words, but it's the measurement of the nutrient's potential for neutralizing free radicals. And you hear a lot about free radicals, and I'm going to talk to you about that next slide as well. But the S-ORAC value, which they've given to these trio of products, which is a measurement of an antioxidant's potential for neutralizing a particularly dangerous free radical molecule called the superoxide radical. To give you an example, most average fruit and vegetable servings is 500 or less. The lifelong vitality supplements in that box there has an S-ORAC value of 18,000. So if you think, oh, I eat whole organic foods, I know where they're growing, I'm growing them myself, and they're top quality, you're nowhere near going to get this level of antioxidant protection. You can't even come close to it. So reducing free radicals is critical, absolutely critical for reversing aging and inflammation. Essential oils themselves have ORAC values much higher than ordinary foods, never mind these supplements. So here's an example. On the far right top corner, clove essential oil is the highest antioxidant with an ORAC value of 1 million. The power of 1 million to destroy free radicals in the body. Then myrrh is second, then coriander. And on the left side, you can see the foods, the top foods, which is cocoa powder or cacao, which is what the Aztecs and the Mayans knew, which is why they always drank their cacao elixirs back in the day. Real high antioxidant level. We just damage chocolate when we add the sugar, and when we process it, we damage what was a pure, powerful nutritional ingredient. But acai berry, that's why you hear a lot about that. Prunes and raisins are much higher than plums and grapes. The dried food actually has higher antioxidant values. But just look at, you can't even touch that million. That million clove oil is in one of those essential omega trio there. That's why clove is in there. So free radicals, what they do in the body is they trigger a defense response, making cells basically more damaged, and leads to unhealthy aging. Just think of free radicals as unhealthy aging. They can result in tissue damage, cancer. Like what a free radical is, it is a molecule that has an unpaired electron, so it makes it unstable. So because it's unstable with only one electron, it will seek to take away from a nice healthy molecule, stealing one of its electrons to make it stable, and then that leads to that molecule now becoming a free radical, and it causes a chain reaction of creating free radicals. It's a chain reaction. So if you stabilize the unstable molecule missing an electron by adding an antioxidant, that's why antioxidants are, stabilize free radicals, is they can give up one of their electrons and then they're fine. They have so many to give up that they are not like a regular molecule who needs every single one that they have. So in the brain, we need essential fatty acids. 80% of the brain and 70% of the myelin nerve sheath. This is the nerve coating that coats each of our nerves. When people say, my nerves are fried, I'm burned out, you're getting on my last nerve, all those expressions are because they're lacking their myelin nerve sheath. It literally is frayed and damaged and splintered. So it's like how they show those hair commercials where they show the coating on healing your hair. You know, think of it like that. There's a coating on the nerves that they need to have, and it's made up largely of fatty acids. This is why we need essential fatty acids, which those supplements have. In addition to what's in there, they also have this nanosomal lipid assimilation system, and we're getting a little bit complicated, but nanomolecules are molecules that are at the smallest level. The cells need miniature teeny weeny molecules to be able to absorb, and having a lipid coating on it means that cells are lipid loving. They will suck in these essential oils and essential fatty acids, because if it didn't have this lipid coating, they might just float by, and maybe some cells would absorb it and maybe some won't. This makes it an active absorption at the nanomolecule level. Does anyone have any questions on that? So it's the absorption method as well as the ingredients that matters. In addition, regular fish oils have a harder time being absorbed, and that's the side here on the green. They're usually green algae is a way that they start out. This is a patented way of creating astaxanthin, and we are going to get a little more ingredient specific here, but just relax and just listen. If it becomes too much, you can go back and re-listen to this later. The astaxanthin allows for a greater delivery system, again, allowing smaller particles to be absorbed more readily in the intestines. So how do they create this and make astaxanthin? As you can see here, they have these PVC pipes that are algae is in there, green algae is in there. When it's exposed to sunlight, and they have big giant farms of this, it changes it to red. That's how they create astaxanthin. This is a big market, because this is a big deal, having this astaxanthin ingredient versus just regular fish oils that are green. Astaxanthin actually does more than just have a pretty red color. The algae actually passes through the blood-brain barrier, improves muscle strength and endurance, supports immune function. It's 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C as far as an antioxidant goes. 800 times stronger than CoQ10. How many people you hear about taking CoQ10? Like, everybody's taking CoQ10. Everybody's doctor says take CoQ10, right? This is 800 times stronger than CoQ10, 550 times stronger than green tea. How many people are told drink green tea? Has high antioxidants, right? This is more than 550 times stronger than vitamin E. And here's another type of a bar graph so you can see the visual of how much stronger of an antioxidant it is than those traditional ones most people are taking at probably Walmart or Target, you know, which doesn't even maybe have those ingredients in them. Here's another chart comparing the ORAC value of astaxanthin to other foods, ginger, black beans, garlic, just showing you from just eating foods alone, you're really missing out on a much stronger effect on your free radicals. So here's a little cartoon, a couple where only one person is taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack. She's like, well, now I feel like I'm 20 and you're still the same. As oftentimes only one partner is taking them and the other one isn't, and this would be the long-term effect. There are published clinically supported studies that you can go to pubmed.gov to view, showing the effects on DNA protection, inflammation, stress management, cardiovascular health, bone and joint health, all these other things. All right, now we're going to switch topics. There is a blend called Slim and Sassy, and what I've kind of put in here is my favorite top ones that I use regularly. Slim and Sassy is all these ingredients on the bottom: lemon, cinnamon, grapefruit, ginger, and peppermint, for increasing metabolism, increasing helping with digestion and weight loss. That's why there's a whole product line with Slim and Sassy. You just put this in your water, if nothing else, and just drink it in your water, and that alone can start helping you improve your metabolism with weight loss. They do have these recipes. You can make a slim and sassy wrap, where if you go back and look at this later and write this down, but you would fill a glass spray bottle, adding fractionated coconut oil as well, and then spray yourself in the area you want to lose the weight. Then wrap yourself with saran wrap, leave on for 1 to 2 hours, and people have told me they literally have lost 1 to 6 inches, like this says, just in a couple of hours. I have not yet gotten to test this, but people I've given classes to have told me, yeah, I did that, and I lost 3 inches, 4 inches,
For how long?
a couple
Day or
hours.
2 I mean, how long does the loss?
Oh, how long does the loss last?
Yeah, an hour or 2 or a day or?
Well, I think, just a guess, but we have fat cells, and fat cells never go away, but they swell up when they're full, and they can shrink when they're not full, and we won't lose the amount of fat cells, but you can lose the volume of the fat cell. So I think probably that's how this is working. It's reducing the volume of the fat cells. And as long as you, eat well and don't start eating donuts again and everything, it would be probably like liposuction.
Yeah.
Except liposuction is actually removing fat cells. But, anyway, that's just something you could do with that. And drinking lemon water also helps. Lemon water is a cleanser. Then they also have the Slim and Sassy patented blend in these protein shake drinks. I like the V shake, which stands for vegan. The other ones have whey protein. The vegan shake has pea, amaranth, and quinoa. None of them have soy. None of their products have gluten. Everything is gluten-free. I have noticed just on the V shake, after 3 weeks of being on that and drinking the Slim and Sassy and taking the Long Life Vitality supplements, all of a sudden I did just lose 10 pounds in 1 week. And I had bought new clothes. This had been going on a year and a half. As I approached 50, when I was 49, I started noticing I did increase in my girth. Okay, so, and I had heard, oh, this is normal. Women get wider as they get older. That's just the way it is. So I was like, okay, I guess that's just the way it is. So I did buy new shorts, new, things, so I was comfortable. But, I wasn't happy about it, but I accepted it. And as I said, this went on like a year and a half. And I had started taking these 2 products with the Long Life Vitality supplements. In 3 weeks, I was able to go back to my original shorts, and they were even loose at that time. It just happened in the magic 3rd week. Then when I ran out of this, because this will last you almost 2 months, like a month and a half, so I didn't order it the 2nd month. I just figured, I'll just get it on the 3rd month. I was off of it for like a week, and I noticed I did gain back 5 pounds. And when I went back on and got it again, they immediately came off in just a couple of days. So.
It really does curb your appetite. I'm not a vanilla person, but I have a vanilla one, and it is amazing. Like, I blended it with bananas the first time. Loved it. She loves it too.
Yeah, and it does help with blood sugar, like balancing blood sugar. I've heard testimonies about that. And it makes you, I could actually go all day long and just having this with the Terra greens, which I'm going to talk about soon. They kind of go together. And the green drink, or your favorite green drink, but they make one too, has and this is just a close-up of the ingredients I mentioned. Before I get onto the Terra greens, let me just finish with this one. The other big deal about this, and why I wanted to take it as soon as I saw what was in there, was the ashwagandha root. And if you haven't heard of ashwagandha root, that has a lot to do with cortisol levels and the adrenal glands, which we are in an epidemic of people getting burnt out with adrenal fatigue and adrenal exhaustion. And part of my weight gain, my abdominal weight gain, was I knew from excess cortisol levels that, I was just constantly overstimulating my adrenal glands by working or stress or whatever. It was excess cortisol levels. So I was like, oh, ashwagandha root, I know that's supposed to balance that out. Let me try this. And also for people who don't sleep well in the middle of the night, often wake up, have a hard time falling asleep, a lot of times that has to do with excess cortisol levels from, again, too much adrenal burnout. Your adrenals are supposed to secrete the cortisol, but it's not supposed to be constant. And when, just like adrenaline is not supposed to be constant, when you're constantly living on adrenaline, that becomes a poison in the body. And that's why a lot of people need coffee more than ever, because they can't stay awake in the afternoons. They can't wake up in the mornings. You know, if you're living without coffee and you have energy levels, like I'm saying I do, that's a big deal in our world today. If you don't need coffee and you don't need a nap.
On the bottom part of it, behind the TV set, just pull a little bit towards you. On the thermostat.
Okay, all right. So, the other thing about ashwagandha root is it does help with, it can help, let me correct myself, it can help with stress, memory fog, fatigue, and again, inability to lose weight. It has to, it improves, it can improve. Loss of libido, recovery time, see? I mean, I did start on this right away, but again, I was still taking the V-Shake when I ran out of the supplements. So, but here's another thing that helps with recovery time, all those things, memory fog, physical exhaustion. I also noticed muscle tone improving after just 1 week on the V-Shake that I did not expect. I had to read the label to say, does this say it does something with that too? And I've noticed continual firming now over a year, including on my, as my aunt said, derriere. My aunt used to use that term, but without doing any extra exercise, which I really, really don't do the way I used to at all. And I'm noticing firming in the glutes after a year, okay? But it's a constant thing. It continues to tone and firm, for me, muscle tone. All right, so ashwagandha root, why is it a big deal? Again, if you look at the top here, lowers cortisol levels, one of the worst stress hormones, helps to stabilize blood sugar levels, lowers blood pressure, also helps the thyroid. A lot of people are having thyroid issues. So thyroid and adrenals, two big glands that are problems for most people, and that's in that V-Shake. And again, other people like the chocolate or vanilla with the whey protein. Quinoa and amaranth are huge superfoods for me, and I haven't really seen that in a product either. So I was really impressed with Doterra. Quinoa is considered a complete protein, has all 9 essential amino acids, helps reduce cholesterol levels, all these great benefits here. And same thing with amaranth. Very high quality protein, super high in vitamin C and calcium. And I know this because of the wild edibles I teach. That's where amaranth is a big deal. The wild edibles that we have in nature are much better than the store-bought domesticated plants. So when I saw these two in this product, it was very impressive for me. Gluten-free, again, anti-inflammatory. Other benefits are listed here. I'm not going to go into every single one, but arthritis, gout, inflammation, strengthening follicles. I can't stop my hair from growing, if you haven't noticed. I guess I'm just going to say this because I'm trying to save my testimonials here, but even other areas on the body where hair grows, I've noticed forever, I'm 51 years old, forever, okay, sorry to get personal, but I just want to tell you that it's,
Go ahead. Sounds like one of the
I usually don't have to change my razor blades ever. Like, I can go for years on one razor blade because of the thinness and the fineness that, I don't need it, but it's, I'm, let me just leave it there, okay?
Good for you, Susan.
But I was just like, this is really crazy how much thicker, stronger, hair growth is. All right. So here's the Terra Greens I was mentioning that are designed to actually go together with the V-Shake. And the V-Shake actually has a very mild, light banana flavor by itself. But together with the Terra Greens, it's the right consistency. I believe it's like creamy. I use a shaker cup. I just shake them up together, a scoop of each every morning. That's what, I can go, if I needed to, I can go the entire day until 5 o'clock on just that with the supplements. Okay, I take those supplements first thing. So there is also therapeutic grade essential oils in here. And here's the ingredients: kale, dandelion, spinach, parsley, collard greens, broccoli, cabbage, wheatgrass, alfalfa. These are huge superfoods. Oatgrass, barley grass. If you've heard of Hallelujah Acres, they have a whole diet for healing people just using barley grass powder alone, along with juices, fresh juices, but they have a barley grass powder product that they sell. This has much more than just that. Wheatgrass is a big deal, and Ann Wigmore, if you know her, this is what they're using for cancer down at Hippocrates Health Institute. Every day, a shot of wheatgrass juice. I mean, this is wheatgrass powder juiced, but most people aren't going to be able to make all these in a fresh juice every day. So here's your powder cheat sheet. And then it also has the superfood fruits, the guava, the mango, goji berries, mangosteen, acerola cherry, and then some essential oils, lemon and ginger. Everything's non-GMO. I had to call them on that because I did see there was a corn ingredient in one of their products. Everything is non-GMO.
Even the corn?
Yes, even especially the corn. You never, ever, ever want to get GMO corn. So I was really praying they weren't going to tell me it was, and they assured me nothing is GMO. So getting to the intestine now, we're talking about what makes using the essential oils more effective. First, give yourself the nutrition at the cellular level. That's what we talked about, the supplements, the V-Shake, and the Terra Greens. Okay, that's where I'm saying at the cellular level, your nutrition. Now we're going to talk about how do you cleanse to begin with. So cleansing to begin with, a lot of people have candida epidemic. That is huge, and it's not just your intestines. It's wrapped around all your organs. It's in everywhere. It's invasive. Very difficult to get rid of. Of course, feeds on sugar and alcohol, so try to cut those out of your diet. But here's a product that I found, which I was also, while I had that weight gain going on, I was having bloating and cramping that I had never had. I knew I had something going on in my intestines. I am a master herbalist. I was trying my own herbal tinctures. Nothing was working. So they have this product, GX Assist, which stands for Gastrointestinal Assistance. And what it is oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme, and caprylic acid. I even had those ingredients separate, and to be honest, I tried making my own capsules at first. They were Doterra Oils, I had them, but I still couldn't get the results until I took this GX Assist. So something about the GX Assist already pre-made, in like 3 days, all of that was gone for me. What you're supposed to do is take it for 10 days. But on the third day, I noticed all that went down, the weight went down. I mean, it was just miraculous. I was thrilled. So,
Did you take it, or did you?
no, you take it for 10 days, and then you continue, as you see at the bottom line here, then you replenish with the probiotics, which I'm going to go into that. So you can look at this later, but this is what each ingredient in this GX Assist does. Especially candida and parasites and pathogens. You've got to just clean the terrain before you start nourishing with the good stuff. Get rid of the bad stuff. Get it, if you don't get it out, it's going to stay in there and be competing and fighting the good bacteria. So that's why in the first month, do the GX Assist. After you're done with that for 10 days, then you'll go on the probiotics. And the probiotics, it's saying a healthy person should get at least 5 billion bacteria delivered live. And they make a big deal that these are living, good, friendly bacteria. They're not dead. They are living. They have them in these green capsules, which you can see there's a liquid involved there. When you're choosing a probiotic, look for strains having both the lactobacillus and the other one. Make sure they are live strains, though. That's what I'm saying, and that can be measured as colony forming units. Colony forming units means they're going to, stabilize and find a home in your intestines. Make sure the product packaging ensures the culture stability before and after purchase, and that it's delivered to the intestine without opening up in your stomach, so that the stomach acids aren't destroying it before it even gets to the intestines. So this PB Assist that doTERRA has, that's what it stands for, probiotics. It has 6 strains of probiotic microorganisms in a unique double layer vegetable capsule. That's what the green and the clear there is, delivering 5 billion colony forming units, 5 billion per capsule, that has not just the probiotic cultures, not just the living active ones, but also prebiotic. Prebiotic means it encourages culture, adhesion, and growth to an area, which I kind of look at that as a living fetus. No, you know how, like in the women's uterus, a baby has to bind to the uterine wall. You know, that's kind of what that reminds me of, anyway.
Well, they're saying now more and more that you need to have the prebiotics, not just the
Yeah, you need to
probiotics.
have
You have to have both.
both prebiotics and probiotics, and it has to be living, and it has to be able to go past your stomach and open up where it's supposed to open up. So in addition to those, we're talking about digestion and intestine health. This is Terrazyme, which is their digestive enzymes, which I've gotten to now. I just carry it around with me because whenever I'm out and I eat out, you know, restaurant food I think is awful no matter how good it is. It tends to just, you know, not digest that easily. When you have your Terrazyme blend, which we'll get into the enzymes in it, this is an example showing how if you have instant oatmeal in a bowl, or a glass in this case, and you were to open up a capsule of the Terrazyme enzyme and you add it to the oatmeal, how in just 45 minutes it has liquefied that oatmeal. You see the difference there? So on the right, there's no Terrazyme. That's what you're going to deal with until your body digests it on its own, which could take hours. On the left, when you add the Terrazyme, it just liquefies it easily and quickly because of enzymes. And here they are. These are the enzymes in the Terrazyme. It has ones to break down peptides, amino acids, carbohydrates, starches, sugars, fats, oils, lactose even, complex polysaccharide sugars that could cause gas and bloating, too much fiber to help digest fruits and vegetables, things required to turn sugar into glucose for energy, it speeds that up, and you know, basically anything you can need it. People are bloated, they have gas, you know, the food lasts too long, just take a Terrazyme. Just accept that you need that. Maybe when you're younger you don't. As we get older, we do. So another product and that is important for me to talk about is this DDR Prime. They've actually done studies using this that's been very helpful for cancer and autism and things that have to do with nervous system degenerative diseases. So what they're saying here, it does have an ORAC value itself of over 5,000 to help with free radicals. Using it, they're recommending putting 1 to 2 drops down the spine where all your nerve ganglia, you know, start from, and then they spread out from there. Put it down your spine, 1 to 2 drops a day to support cellular health and renewal. This is a blend that helps the cells in the body not just proliferate, meaning getting new cells, but also we need cells to die. We need the apoptosis, which is destruction of cells. If they don't die in your body, then they just continue to live on, become free radicals, scavengers, causing destruction. Cells need to live and die. They don't need to stay around. So here's a picture of a cell actually going through an apoptosis, which means, you know, destroying it, like a tumor cell. You want the tumor cell to mature and go through maturation and, you know, explode out and die. You don't want it to live and grow. You want it to die. So it helps with that, DDR Prime. Neurodevelopment disorders protocol would be something like 2 drops in the morning, 2 drops in the evening, applied to both feet and spine. And the ingredients in there frankincense is the big deal. Frankincense is called the king of oils because of the power that it has to do that kind of destruction to cells, as well as lots of other areas we'll get into. So also it helps with inflammatory response and all these other things. DDR Prime is a powerful oil blend. I just want you to be aware of that. If someone has cancer, they've done studies with this. And it helps with fighting inflammation, which is what leads to metabolism issues, cancer, and aging. Inflammation and free radicals. So here's your 30-day renewal protocol. Always take the Lifelong Vitality Pack every single day, 2 of each in the morning and at night. I do have like the drink first. I do the V-Shake and the Terra Greens first, and then I immediately take my supplements. The Terrazyme you can do, one with a meal, each meal after you eat. Or if it's a real heavy meal, I'll do 2. Or if it's really terrible, even 3. But most of the time, just 1 is plenty. They do have a Zendocrine blend, which I'm not going to talk about today, but that has all essential oils for detoxing all your organs: skin, lungs, bowels, liver, pancreas, kidneys. That one has all of that in it. So that's recommended 1 each day, 3 times a day. The GX Assist I already talked about. So in here it's saying you start with the Lifelong Vitality Pack right from the beginning, and the enzymes and the Zendocrine. On days 11 through 20, that's when you start adding in the GX Assist, because you first want to get your cells up and running, up and working, because they're going to help you clean out the pathogens, the bacteria, the parasites, the candida. So then you do the GX Assist days 11 through 20, twice a day. And then after you're completely finished with the GX Assist, not at the same time, only when you're finished, you would start the probiotics, because now you've cleaned out all the bad stuff. Now you want to put in all the good stuff. And this says days 21 through 30. You can continue on the probiotic, I kind of have them. When I don't take the Terrazyme every single meal, but when I take it, I do maybe just take a probiotic with it. It's up to you what you want to do with that. But people can take Terrazyme and probiotics every single time with meals together all the time.
I was gonna say, why couldn't you take the probiotics just to keep?
Oh yeah, you can, and I do. I can, at least most of the time. I mean, not, whatever. You figure that part out, but you don't want to take it with the GX Assist, and you don't want to take it before the GX Assist if you're planning to take the GX Assist. Yeah, just clean it all out and then put in all the good stuff. And then adding lemon, or they say Smart and Sassy here, but it's Slim and Sassy, into your water is how you're going to continue to clean out. The lemon, by the way, is not made from the juice of the lemon. It's made from the rind, so it's not going to wear away your enamel. It's going to be a mild cleanser. Slim and Sassy, though, helps with metabolism and weight loss as well. And it has a cinnamon, ginger, peppermint, wild orange, and grapefruit, I believe, is what's in the Slim and Sassy. So it's a lot of people have been able to get off the soda, another addiction we are having in our country, with the Slim and Sassy, because it has that ginger, peppermint, cinnamon flavor. Are you addicted to soda? Okay, well, try that. People have gotten off of it with that. All right, and then after all that, here you are, free,
Here you go, Bob.
free, clear, and happy, and healthy.
After you're done with soda.
And you know what? Doing a detox will help clear out negative emotions too, because like I said, they're stuck physically in the cells. So, the pharmaceutical industry, on the other hand, does not create cures. Not that I'm saying these create cures. They just help give the body the tools it needs to do what it can naturally do. Unlike pharmaceuticals, though, which just encourages customers to continue to become dependent on them, because they don't assist in the body restoring function, they replace function in the body. And once you replace function in the body, it gets weaker and weaker until finally it just, the body says, well, you don't need me anymore. You're taking insulin artificially, then I'm just going to shut down. I'm not going to make any more ever. And, blood pressure, I could go on and on. So that's what drugs do. They replace function, and then the body gets weaker and more dependent. Overdosing and dependency on prescription drugs are at epidemic levels. They say between 91 and 2010, consumption of prescription stimulates increased from 5 million to 45 million. So if you don't know what else you can do, because you're just like, well, I don't know what else to do. Now I'm more dependent on these things. My body's getting weaker. That's just the way it is, But they just don't know about things like essential oils, these supplements I've mentioned, these superfoods. We're in a level of time on the planet where we need superfoods, more than just your organic whole foods. And they've also found that people who are addicted to opioid painkillers, which is like the biggest addiction problem going on now, increases the likelihood they're going to be addicted to heroin by 40 times, which is becoming another epidemic in our country. So, as negative as this is, there is a rainbow, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, where you can feel as free as these butterflies and these balloons. Okay, the bottom line is that people are finding incredible benefits from natural solutions. We can take back our health. We do have choices. This is a movement. So are you ready to take back your power? So how do you get started with oils? These are those roller balls I was telling you about that are pre-diluted with the fractionated coconut oil. The way to get started with your own account with Doterra, consider it to be like a Costco or a Sam's. At Costco or Sam's, you pay something like $50, $55 for your annual membership fee. With Doterra, you can do it where you pay a $35 annual membership fee, and that allows you to have a wholesale account. If you don't want to pay the fee, you can buy things at a retail level, but then they're 25% higher than the wholesale level, and it's completely not worth doing. But you do have that option. You don't have to get your own account. You can just buy when you want to, retail. So you can do the wholesale though by paying $35 for the year, and then in the second year it's only $25, and then in the second year they would also give you a free peppermint oil, which is basically the cost of that membership for the second year. Another way is you can get a enrollment kit. If you get an enrollment kit, and they have different ones, then you don't have to pay the $35 fee. It waives the $35 fee. You get to have much more products all at once at a discounted rate because they've grouped it together in a package. And again, you're not wasting $35 on nothing. You actually get something for your money. So this one has some of the most popular things in it. I just realized I have a whole thing on the On Guard products, and I'll be surprised if that's not in here somewhere. But anyway, then there's the one that has every oil that they make in it, the every oil kit. You can get that, but again, you're getting a discount, and you're starting off at a advantage with a percentage back they give you. There's a home essentials kit, which has like the basic, most often used oils in a 15 milliliter bottle, and it comes with a diffuser. Then there's the largest kit of all that has every single product, not just every single oil. That's called the Diamond Kit. And then there's one that's specifically for getting started with the Cleanse and Restore Kit. It has the Lifelong Vitalities, the lemon oil, the Zendocrine, the enzymes, the probiotics, and the GX Assist. So I like this one a lot. If you really just want to go get it, you can get those products in some of those other kits, but here's one that just has that in it, Cleanse and Restore Kit. And then there is the Family Physicians Kit, which is the most basic kit. Again, the most popular 10 most commonly used oils. And here they are: lavender, lemon, peppermint, melaleuca, oregano. Deep blue is for deep tissue pain, joint pain. It has a variety in a lotion as well, but this is it straight. Breathe is for respiratory, asthma type situations, snoring. People who snore, you can diffuse that, and a lot of times that works. Digest Zen is the one for your heartburn, for digestive issues. You can apply it directly to your belly button even, and it goes right through the nerve supply, blood supply there.
What happened? Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, I just think
With the Digest Zen, it's a blend of digestive or oils that, you can do it in your shot glass, which we talked about. It also comes in capsules, soft gels, but you can also put it in your belly button. And I'm saying that the blood supply goes right to your belly button, that's your umbilical cord, will go right through your areas of concern.
Would that be quicker than the feet?
I believe it would be quicker than the feet.
Makes sense.
Yeah, their blood supply is like directly connected to your belly button.
So when you buy any of these other kits, is that $35 fee waived?
Yeah, the $35 fee is waived when you get any kit. Even this is the most basic kit. So just getting this, you won't have to pay the $35. And then the On Guard, there's a whole product line with On Guard, and I have no idea where those slides went. But anyway, that's kind of the thing you would do for colds, flus, bacteria, viruses. Anytime you're getting sick, feeling like you're getting infected. It works on the herpes virus. Different levels of. I've just found and heard. When you need something, it comes in soft gels. It also is in this direct oil way. It's in their toothpaste, it's in their laundry detergent, it's in their soap, it's in their, I don't know if they do have shampoos and conditioners, but it's not in there. Those are made with different products. And then the frankincense. Frankincense alone is a very expensive oil. In this kit, you can get it for almost the same price as buying it by itself.
With
The Zika virus.
You have a repellent.
Yeah, the Zika virus, in any virus, that's what I mean with the oils, can penetrate through the cell membrane and attack viruses inside the cells. So the Zika, Ebola, that's what we talked about earlier with the cinnamon. But yeah, the On Guard has cinnamon in it. It has cinnamon, cloves, eucalyptus, rosemary, and wild orange is what's in the On Guard. I'm just still a little... All right, so that is your Doterra presentation. If you would like more information on how you can get your own Doterra wholesale account, you can contact me, Susan Keiffer, or you can go on my website, choose the Join and Save tab, which would get you a wholesale account. Or if you are watching this with someone who has invited you, please ask them how they can show you their website and show you where you can order products from, either retail or wholesale. So thank you for letting me be of service to you. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
With the bug spray, mosquito,
Mos-
Zika,
Yes.
is it a spray that you have to spray on every time you go outside? Or is it they just repel away from you because they can smell it in you? Or they don't attack you?
How does it work, I guess?
I have the blood where mosquito could be in China and it'll be here in 2 seconds.
Just smell it.
Yes.
I get that.
The oils will work, like let's just say the On Guard. I know that will work, like one capsule will last almost 2 weeks on certain things in your body. But when you're spraying natural things like they have for the Zika virus, the insect repellent blend, which is called Terra Shield, it comes in a spray bottle or in like a blend, like a 15 milliliter bottle. Pretty much that's only going to last when you apply it until it wears off. It is diluted in the coconut oil, so that makes it last like for hours, but it really, like let's just say my cats, they have fleas. I have found that no flea medicines work on them anymore. I've returned things over and over and over. I've tried every brand that they sell in PetSmart and nothing works. It lasts maybe 3 days. It's supposed to last a month, so you can't do anything for another month until you can, it's worn out enough to give them another dosage. So what I do now is I just add a drop of cedar wood to behind the neck on the cat or at the base of the spine. 1 drop of cedar wood, and they're immediately done itching, scratching, whatever, biting the thing what that was happening, and that seems to last for 1 day on them. So, you know, I could get away with maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, but basically, you know, I consider it 1 day, and then really it's just a matter until the fleas find them again. But it's just 1 drop that I have to apply, and I apply it as needed. So the Zika virus, you know, I would be, if you're concerned about that, I would be taking the On Guard soft gels, which there's an On Guard Plus, and
What if you're just more interested in a mosquito repellent?
that would be the Terra Shield. That you could either buy, they already have it pre-diluted with the coconut oil in the spray bottle, or you can make your own. You can get the blend like in this,
Yeah.
and put it in a spray bottle with coconut oil.
How much would you, what would be the ratio?
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't tell you how they made theirs, but and I did a class on making like roller balls and sprays and things, and I could not find any consistent thing about how many drops. It was more kind of like try it out. If you need more, add more, but maybe start with. So I have no idea how much they put in theirs. Even their roller balls. That's why I'm just like, I'll just buy theirs instead of making my own. But
Just buy it.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
only $9.50.
yeah, they have it in a
It's a
spray.
darn good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another option instead.
You don't mind people looking. For them
Yeah,
to
here's
say
the
so.
On Guard Plus product, which is probably what, are you showing her On Guard? Yeah, so see up here, this is the On Guard Plus, which is more than what's in the blend. The Plus has extra ingredients. It has, and it's in all these products.
Smells delicious.
Laundry detergent. The toothpaste is amazing. It's actually a whitening toothpaste, and it really does, you can tell in one application of it that your teeth got whiter.
We'll get those samples.
Yeah, but you should have seen my teeth prior from all the tinctures, you know, I had to do every day.
I have.
Yeah, I'm going to put up a slide of my before and after teeth. It also comes in these cough drop type things. They're not necessarily for cough drops, but it's the kind of thing you would take, you could suck on a, if you had a, yeah, lozenge. And then it has these beadlets here too. They're like 1 drop in every little beadlet that you would chew, and they explode in your mouth. The detergent is amazing. We use that mostly for stains because I don't want to, I value it so much, but you can just, I just stick my finger in it, and if there, my son has a lot of oil stains and food stains on his clothes, I just stick my finger in it and rub it on the thing, it like vanishes immediately. So he even now asks me, you know, do you have any more of the laundry detergent, so I can, you know, because he knows it works on stains, especially blood stains, because it has a 5 milliliter bottle of the On Guard in there. Actually, it has a 10 milliliter in there. They have a concentrate that has 5 milliliters, and it has enzymes in the laundry detergent. That's the main thing. The enzymes eat away at whatever the stains are. So I've never been a good laundry person, but this allows me to get rid of stains. I sound like one of those 1940s commercials, but so that laundry detergent is amazing. Then there's this concentrate cleaner, which again has a 5 milliliter bottle of the On Guard in it. Here's just a recipe for scrubbing your tub: baking soda, the concentrate, and water. Here's the blend itself, and people have used it for all these different reasons. But the On Guard Plus soft gels have an addition of black pepper, oregano, and melissa. Melissa is a super strong antiviral. And the black pepper is a catalyst, makes things work better. Oregano has strong immune properties. So the plus in the soft gels is what I'm saying is the stronger thing than just this bottle alone. It's super powerful, I've found. And here it is with all the other ingredients: wild orange, clove, black pepper, cinnamon, eucalyptus, oregano, rosemary, and melissa is a big deal and super expensive. So the fact that it's in here is just phenomenal.